Again with another video, and today we are going to be continuing the painting session of painting my final Custodes, the Captain General. I started this yesterday. I wasn't actually able to live stream it, unfortunately, but I managed to get all the gold and Rhinox hide down on the armor. And today we are going to continue with it. I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to paint it all at once tonight, because I really don't want to. I want to paint this model and get him looking nice in a way that I'm not rushing through it, you know. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm painting them correctly. So, oops. Didn't mean to do that. So yeah, we're going to continue moving on. And I think the first thing that we're going to do is I want to paint this cloak. This cloak has been something that I've been wanting to do since yesterday. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue moving on. And I'm going to try a new method today with the painting of this cloak. Not entirely sure how well it's going to work, but hey, gotta try it. Try something new. But yeah, I say we get moving, and you let me know at any point in time if this, if you're not able to see what I'm doing precisely. I will zoom in, zoom out, try to make it as perfect as I possibly can as we're going about it. So I need to find a brush that I'm going to use for applying a base color down, which I think will be this one. Yeah, so I put Rhinox hide at the underneath it, and from here I'm going to do Flesh Terror's red, and then Mephiston red, and then from there it's just highlight shading and whatnot. But we're going to add this Flesh Terror's red over all of it right off the bat, just because I've found a tutorial on YouTube of a guy who painted it, and I loved how his cloak came out. So we're going to try and replicate it. I put Rhinox hide down to give it that extra darkness to the cloak itself. So as the Flesh Terror's red dries over the model or over the cloak, it's going to give you that like dark feeling to it. So it should come out looking pretty nice. That's what I hope so, at least. But since it's my first time doing this particular style of cloak painting, we will definitely see. I wasn't entirely planning on using my Captain General to test out a new color scheme, but worst case scenario, I'll just have to, paint over it and do it again. But let me zoom in a little bit. Oh shit, that's too much. How about that? There we go. Move this over a little bit. I want to make sure that you guys can actually see all the details as I go about doing this. And so it's important that I make sure that the camera is pointing at a correct angle. But I started this guy yesterday. Like I said, I didn't really do much. I did all the gold bits, and then I painted the Rhinox hide on there. That took me about an hour and 20 minutes or so. So in terms of like overall painting, I'm about an hour and a half into it. How's it going, Tucker? And I'm hoping that I can probably get this guy done by the end of the week. We'll see how much time I invest. but we will definitely see how long it actually takes. But yes, I like I like it looking as good as possible. The biggest issue is going to be like these like deep recesses that I'm going to have to kind of watch out for, because I don't want to get this red on anything else. Thankfully we can kind of go back and repaint it if I need to with the black, but I would prefer to do it right the first time. So getting the paint looking as good as possible without touching anything else is key in this aspect. Though I'm not entirely sure how well I'm going to be able to get the back. Another issue is I put this whole model together, so I can't really do it in sub-assembly. So I'm kind of stuck with what I can work with, you know. Shit, like right there, I got too much, and I accidentally went over the black area. Yeah, my job's been kicking my ass the last couple days, so I haven't been able to live stream, paint, really do anything. Normally I get off around like 5 in the afternoon, but the last 2 days I've worked until like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And since there's really nothing I can do about that aspect, I kind of just have to deal with it and just hope the next day I can get off a little bit early. So I wasn't able to do much painting at all over the course of the day. But I think that's looking pretty good. I like that red tone. I'm gonna look at this video real quick too. I might have to do another color. I'm not entirely sure. Or another layer. What do you guys think? Do you think I should do another layer of it? I think it looks pretty red as it is. Then again, there are some spots that I forgot to get. So I guess it kind of comes down to how dark I want it, you know? I think having another layer will be fine. It's not that big a deal. But like I said, I probably only have about, I would say about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm probably going to spend the majority of that time on this cloak, just because there's a lot of layers to it. Yeah, I've been painting. I actually started painting in January, and the first models that I got were Custodes. So I've been slowly getting through them all, and this is my last one. I bought 2 boxes of those 5, just the regular models, and then I got a Combat Patrol box, and then I painted all of those, and then I also got this guy, and then 2 of the other specialty models, but I wanted to save him for last just because I wanted to see where my skill set has improved after painting, you know, like 20 or so of them. So I'm kind of taking everything that I've learned over the past 5 months and hopefully turning this model into, you know, something that I can be proud of. But, you know, worst case scenario, I just get another one in the future. If it doesn't come out absolutely correct, or maybe I'll try it again in a year or so and see the difference of my skill set with this model. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to go about doing the fur though, because I haven't found a method that I quite like yet. I've watched a few videos about them or about how to paint the fur, but none of them like really stand out that like wow me. So I think I'm going to leave that for one of the last aspects of this. But yeah, I don't know. I know damn well I'm not going to be able to get through it tonight, unfortunately. If I had like 2 or 3 hours to paint, then I'd probably be able to do a little bit more, but that's just not possible since I gotta work in the morning. And I also want to paint another one of these models in the just traditional gold, and see how that comes out too. So a lot of my models I have, it's switched between traditional Custodes and their gold armor, and then the Shadow Keepers. I have like an equal amount of both. So I'll definitely need to get another one of these models and paint them in the traditional gold pattern. And hell, I can even do the Watchers in the Dark. I think it's their purple. I'm not quite sure if that's what they are. I've actually been seeing a bunch of like Facebook Marketplace posts of people selling like Custodes, their entire armies. I paint a Primarch next. I mean, I want to paint Mortarion, but I'm not quite sure if I have the skill sets necessary to do that. Unfortunately, it's intimidating as hell. I want to start with the Great Unclean one first, and then go from there. All right, so after this dries, we're going to move on to the Mephiston Red. But the first layer, we are going to apply a very thin layer of Mephiston Red. So it's going to be really, really thin. That's even too thick right there. So we need a little bit more water. Yeah, about there. Add a little bit more over here and get it really watered down. All right. So I think I can start going about it. Well, yeah, I'm sure. I'm excited to do it, but it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, it's so fucking intimidating thinking about doing that, you know. But I mean, you gotta. Sometimes you just gotta go for it and hope for the best. So from the video that I'm watching right now, he's just doing a glaze over the red. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to turn out, but I'm trying my best to replicate it. This is one of those like learning aspects as well. I didn't intend for this to be a learning exercise for me, but this is one of my only models that I have a massive ass fucking cape. So I was like, fuck it. We're just going to go ahead and just try it. All of my other Custodes are done. I mean, I've done different types of red cloaks, but none of them just seem to really pop out for me as much as this one. The only issue that I'm struggling with right now is all this extra like paint that's coagulating. Okay, I think that's better. I'm trying to catch all the deep recesses of this model. He's basically in the video that I'm watching, the guy's like adding layers to the red so it like eventually like gets brighter and brighter and brighter, you know? And that's what I'm trying to shoot for at the moment. Trying to replicate as much as I can. The only issue is this is supposed to be like super fucking watered down. So I'm trying to replicate that as much as I can. I guess I need to like almost get the Admex, the Scutari units, since they have a lot of red on them, and maybe practice with that for like cloaks and whatnot. Like all these different techniques that I want to implement. Because there's just so many different ways of doing this, you know? Like that's the one thing about this hobby, that it's like there's so many fucking ways about going about painting a model, that it's like even if I had 50 of the same model, I could paint that model 50 different ways and it will always come out looking unique in its own way, you know, even if I use the same paint over and over and over. Like that doesn't even really matter. There's just so much uniqueness into it that you never get bored. At least I don't. That's why, like, with my orcs that I'm painting currently, I have like 3 different colors that I'm choosing from. I have traditional green, I'm doing a red orc, and then I'm doing a purple sneaky boys. So anytime I paint orcs, I just kind of flip-flop between both of those. And I like how they're coming out too, you know. I'm thinking about getting into Skaven, and I'm going to do the same thing with them. And then hell, if I get into something else, another horde army like Tyranids or something, I can also do multicolors with them. All right, so as this dries, now we're going to do a thick highlight. So I'm going to switch brushes. and go to something a little bit smaller. Because we're going to do a thick edge highlight around all of the creases and crevices and whatnot of this model. No, I haven't. I only painted about 9 orcs so far. I just got, well, my girlfriend bought me a Combat Patrol box for orcs about a month ago, and I've painted about 9 of them so far. I've purchased more orcs, so I have another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 right here, and then I bought a box of Gretchen, so I have 10 Gretchen as well. I'm waiting to paint all of the, because of this, it's so expensive. I want to get through all of the cheaper sets first, like the Orc Boys and whatnot, before I go ahead and try anything else. Before I, put my money deeply into $30 models. Damn it. Yeah, only 120 more to go. Pretty much, it's true. I'm gonna, I don't know exactly how many orcs I'm gonna paint, but I'm gonna maintain having like 3 different armies worth of paint, if that makes sense. 3 different armies that I can paint at a time. So I'm going to maintain that. So if I get low on orcs and I still want to continue painting orcs, then you know what? I can fucking buy another 2 boxes of 10 for $60. And it will be nice. But once I get through all the smaller boxes, I'm going to definitely work up to like the big old stuff, bikes and choppas and hell, even maybe one of the Stampas, whatever other models they have. I'm kind of just doing a mixture of stippling and just straight lines. I was doing the lines down here, but I didn't really like how they looked. But I'm digging the stippling method that I'm doing right now. So I think I'm just going to continue doing that for the rest of the model, or the rest of the cloak. I'm just going to make sure I have enough paint on the brush. My biggest thing is like, I paint so many of these models that I get into like a routine over and over of just doing the same thing. And I don't know if I said that a minute ago, but I really need to like start watching more videos on YouTube of like different methods to paint, because I feel like my skill set really isn't improving by much lately. So I definitely need to do more in terms of that, of learning different methods of painting styles and whatnot, and just saying fuck it and trying it all out. Since this is like my main hobby now, it's like I should be like constantly improving, or at least attempting to do so. Obviously there's going to be lags in it, and I'm going to reach a point of struggle where I'm seeing marginal gains from my painting, but I haven't hit that yet. So this, hold up. Damn it. How the fuck did that manage to get on there? Whatever. Paint over it, I guess. Um, the thing that I've noticed too is I have a tendency of like, as I'm doing this stuff, like I overly criticize my own work. And I need to learn to just like kind of back off of that, you know, just be like, you know what, it's okay to feel like you're not doing your best, but having a constant negative mindset about like, oh my God, you're fucking up the model or you're doing this wrong is not good either. But after this model this week, I'm hoping to be able to do at least another Death Guard because I'm getting closer and closer to being done with all the Death Guard units that I got from that Facebook Marketplace post. And for those who don't know, I pretty much got a super steal of like fucking almost like 300 models for like $200. Like 90 Poxwalkers, 30 or 40 Death Guard, a Hell Brute, 3 bright light drones, you know, quite a lot of stuff. What I'm doing now is I'm adding weathering, so just little dinks and marks and whatnot on the cape. Let's get down here. Well, quite deep in the recesses. can't really reach the fucking interior of this stuff, unfortunately. Ah! All right, so next we're going to add Evil Sun Scarlet, and we're going to water the fuck out of this. Just adding this all over the cape. Damn it, I can't really reach the shit at the bottom. All right. Getting there slowly but surely. All right. Now we can switch brushes again. Now we're going to move on to the edge highlighting of this color. This is the part where it's like, I gotta be meticulous, so I'm not really talking much as I'm doing this. So for this, I'm gonna do Evil Sun Scarlet, and we're gonna do it in the recesses of all of Hey, how's it going, Night Trap? I appreciate it, man. I'm trying a new method right now. I've been watching this YouTube video, and I'm trying to applying it based on the video itself to see how well it comes out. So I've just been kind of following along his video as I apply colors. Yeah, same here. I've worked fucking my ass off the last couple days, so I've like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking live stream. I haven't done it in a while. I need to because, like, shit, work's just been kicking my butt. So I figured since I'm going to be, you know, painting this model and I want to make it look good, I might as well just do it as like the best that I possibly can with what I've learned over the course of the last 5 months, you know. I still struggle in terms of like edge highlighting a consistent like line, but I'm not perfect. It's all right. Ugh. All right. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to get anything more done tonight besides this cape because I've been live streaming now for like 30, 40 minutes or something like that, and I've only managed to paint the cape. Time flies when you're fucking having fun, man. I started at 9 o'clock, I think. I probably could have posted it in Discord too that I was going live, but I just realized that I didn't. So um, let me copy. Give me 1 second. Ugh, I gotta install an update. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Is that? Let's see. All right. Made sure to pin it just in case. It's so hard to know exactly who's in here because my computer doesn't actually like show it in terms of like when I'm looking at my own live stream, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say who's in here, how many people. It just shows like the likes and that's about it. So until like people talk in chat, I'm just like, no idea. And since my phone's above me, I really can't see it as I'm going about doing this. All right, time to get the front bit. This is extremely difficult, especially trying to get into all these like little ass recesses. Oh. At least it's looking good. I think that's all that matters. This is coming out looking nice. I got a few more colors to do too. At least 3 more. Oh, fuck. Oh, I messed up the phone. Sorry. Hey, look at that. All right, time for another one. Now this is getting smaller. We're getting smaller in terms of the colors. So we're going to go with Wild Rider Red now. Now this is where I kind of have to like, all right, focus. Like the absolute fucking like. Yeah, this is definitely one of those like you need a lot of paint on your brush, but not so much that it like overwhelms the model. Sorry, you really couldn't see that. God damn. Ugh. Damn it, I didn't mean to do that fucking thick of a line. Shit. Oh well. Ah. Damn hand is trying to cramp up on me. Getting that old man arthritis. Holy fuck, my hand hurts. All right. Now, time to move on to this one. And this is just like mostly focusing on the tips. Oh, fuck. Okay. So last color, orange. And these are just in the very fine color, very fine corners. Oh, my finger's fucking cramping up, man. Shit. Oh, fuck. All right. That be it for the cloak. How does it look? Let's see. Who's all in here? Zoom it in so you can see this. I think it came out all right. Now I just need to ruin it by painting the gold. That's the last step. Now I gotta find the gold. Oh yeah, it's over here. So yeah, I gotta ruin it now by painting gold over it. The part that needs to be painted gold. But it's okay. We'll find a good brush to use so it doesn't like fucking feel like I'm disgracing it. I gotta be super fucking careful with this. That's why I'm getting like way close up to it. God damn, this is hard. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish any more than just this fucking cape. This goal is irritating the hell out of me. It's like I gotta keep on adding fucking layers to it for it to soak up. Alright, that should be enough. Now it's just a matter of adding Reikland Flush Shade over it. I don't even really need that much, to be honest. Just a dab, just a little bit once this dries. So basically I'm going to add Reikland Flash Shade over all of the gold, which is going to darken up the gold a little bit. And then once it's fully darkened, we're going to come back to it and brighten it up a little bit on like the edges and whatnot. That way it like pops out more, so it's not just a static gold image, you know. Which, I mean, inherently there's nothing really wrong with that, but at the same time it's, you kind of want to give the impression that it's like almost popping out of the cape. It's not just an image carved on it, you know. Then we let that dry. And then it'll just be one more step, and then we'll call it good for tonight. But tomorrow we will work on the rest of it. Probably the lion mane, because I want to make the fur on this look really nice. Give it those individual dots. Make it pop. Oh, fuck. Alright. It's getting close to being dry. Almost there. Oof. All right. I think that should be plenty of time for it to. Now it's just a matter of applying this to like the edges and just like bringing it up a little bit. All right. There we go. There she be, guys. About an hour and a half of a stream to get to this point. So we'll zoom in and I'll show you the progress. Let me stand up so you can see it. But this is what he looks like right now. I'm going to actually get off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully we can get through the fur and the lion mane tomorrow, and then we'll start working on the spear. But I'll catch you guys later. Peace out as always. Have a nice night, guys.